The house stood at the end of Willow Lane, its weathered bricks wrapped in ivy, its windows glinting like watchful eyes under the moonlight. To most, it was just another old home, but to Alex, it was a fresh start. The realtor had mentioned its history, with a tight smile, brushing off questions with vague reassurances. "Just need some love," she'd said. Keys jingled as Alex stepped inside, the wooden floor creaking beneath their feet. The air smelled of dust and something faintly sweet, like dried flowers left too long in a vase. They unpacked in silence, the house settling around them with sighs and groans, as if adjusting to a new presence. Night fell quickly. Alex lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, when the first whisper came, a breathy murmur from the hallway. They sat up, straining to listen. Just the wind, they told themselves. Old houses had voices of their own. But then it came again. Not a word, not quite, more like the ghost of a syllable, slipping under the door. Alex's pulse quickened. They flicked on the lamp, casting long shadows across the walls. Silence. Then. Alex. Clear as a struck bell. Their name, spoken in a voice that wasn't theirs. The bedroom door stood slightly ajar. Beyond it, the hallway stretched, empty. Heart hammering, Alex grabbed their phone and typed with shaking fingers, "Willow Lane House previous owners." The screen flooded with results. A newspaper clipping from 1982. A photo of a woman in a faded floral dress. The headline, "Local woman dies in home, no next of kin." The article mentioned one chilling detail: neighbors reported hearing her voice long after the funeral. "She never left," one claimed. As if on cue, the whisper came again, this time, right beside the bed. "Welcome home." The house had been quiet for weeks, too quiet. After the whispers of that first night, Alex had half convinced themselves it was just the settling of an old home. But the air still prickled with something unseen, like static before a storm. Then, on the 17th night, it appeared. Alex woke with a start, their throat dry. The digital clock glowed 3:17 a.m. Something had pulled them from sleep, a sound, maybe, or the gut-deep sense of being watched. They lay still, listening. The bedroom door was open. Again. And at the end of the hallway, barely visible in the gloom, stood a figure. Tall. Motionless. A silhouette blacker than the darkness around it, as if it swallowed the light. Alex's breath hitched. They blinked, once, twice, but the shape remained. Then, as slowly as smoke curling from a snuffed candle, it turned its head toward them. Alex fumbled for the lamp. Light flooded the room. The hallway was empty. Morning brought weak sunlight and frayed nerves. Alex paced the hallway, running fingers along the wallpaper. No hidden doors. No mirrors that could cast such a shadow. Just the same narrow passage they'd walked 100 times. But that night, it returned. 3:17 a.m. again. The figure stood closer this time, just outside the bedroom door. Alex froze, their pulse a frantic drumbeat. The darkness where its face should be seemed to press forward, leaning into the room. They lunged for the light. Gone. By the fourth sighting, Alex stopped sleeping. They drank coffee in shaking gulps, jumping at every creak. The figure no longer vanished immediately when the lights came on. Sometimes, for half a heartbeat, it lingered, dissolving like ink in water. Then Mrs. Pete, the elderly neighbor, mentioned the previous owner. Oh, the Harlow man. She tooted, stirring her tea. Died right there in that hallway, back in '76. Heart attack, they said. Fell so hard the banister cracked. Her eyes flicked to Alex's house. Funny thing, his wife swore he kept walking up and down those stairs after. Said she'd see him standing at all hours, like he was waiting for something. That night, Alex left the hallway light on. At 3:17 a.m., the bulb flickered, once, twice, and died. The shadow stood at the foot of the bed. This time, it didn't leave. The basement smelled of damp earth and forgotten things. Alex avoided it when possible. The steep stairs groaned underfoot, and a single bare bulb cast more shadows than light. But the leaking water heater forced them down one rainy afternoon. That's when they noticed the radio. An antique Zenith, its wooden casing scarred with age, sat wedged between moldy boxes. Dust clouded the dials. Alex brushed a hand over it absently, then jerked back as a sharp pop of static crackled from its speakers. The radio wasn't plugged in. Alex stumbled backward, heart pounding. The static swelled, filling the basement with white noise. Then, beneath the hiss, a voice, guttural, warped, as if dragged through broken glass. Listening. The dials began to turn on their own. Alex yanked the power cord from the wall. Silence crashed back. That night, the dream came. Alex stood in the basement, the radio glowing faintly green. The voice slithered from it, clearer now. You hear me? They woke drenched in sweat. From downstairs, faint static hissed. The radio sat on the kitchen table. Alex hadn't moved it. They lunged, ripping out the batteries this time, throwing the whole thing into the backyard shed. Rain pounded the roof at 3:17 a.m. Alex bolted upright at the first whisper of static. It came from the hallway now, pulsing like a heartbeat. They followed it to the shed door, which stood slightly ajar. Inside, the radio blared. No power. No batteries. The voice rose above the noise, crisp and intimate. Alex, you should run. Then the shed door slammed shut behind them. The bathroom mirror steamed up as Alex brushed their teeth, the humid air clinging to their skin. Wiping the glass with a towel, their hand froze mid-motion. In the reflection, just behind their shoulder, stood a little girl. Pale as moonlight, with hollow eyes and a tattered nightgown. Her lips parted as if to speak. Alex spun around, nothing but empty tiles. Their breath fogged the mirror again. When they wiped it, the girl was gone. She appeared in reflections after that. A flicker in the microwave door as Alex heated leftovers. A ripple in the TV screen after it powered off. Always silent. Always watching. Then, at 3:17 a.m., Alex woke to soft crying. The girl stood at the foot of the bed, tears cutting tracks through the grime on her cheeks. Her mouth moved, but no sound came out, just the faint smell of wet earth and rust. Alex reached for the lamp. The bulb burst in a shower of glass. When their eyes adjusted, she was inches away, her rotting fingers brushing the sheets. "Find me," she mouthed. Then vanished. The attic smelled of mildew and old newsprint. Alex hadn't planned to search, but the girl's plea clung to them like cobwebs. Beneath a box of moth-eaten blankets, they found it, a yellowed newspaper from 1957. Local girl, 8, disappears from home. The photo showed a smiling child in a checked dress. The same hollow eyes. The article ended with a chilling line. Asterisk, neighbors reported hearing a child's laughter in the house for weeks after. Asterisk. A cold breath touched Alex's neck. In the dust at their feet, small fingerprints circled a loose floorboard. The house had become a living thing. Doors slammed like gunshots when no one touched them. Glasses leaped from cabinets, shattering in jagged constellations across the floor. Each morning, Alex woke with fresh scratches, thin, angry lines raked across their arms as if by invisible claws. The psychic, a woman with tired eyes and trembling hands, barely made it past the foyer before recoiling. "They don't want you here," she whispered, clutching her pendant. Asterisk, "You're digging up their graves just by breathing their air." Asterisk. As she fled, the front door locked itself behind her. That night, the bathroom mirror fogged over while Alex showered. They wiped it clear, and froze. Scrawled in frantic, finger-dragged letters across the glass. "Get out." The words dripped like blood, though when Alex touched them, only water smeared their fingertips. Behind the message, the reflection of the hallway showed all the bedroom doors swinging open in perfect unison. Alex packed in a frenzy, throwing clothes into suitcases as shadows thickened in the corners of the room. The air grew heavy, pressing against their eardrums like deep water. A crash from downstairs, the radio blared static from the kitchen, dials spinning wildly. "You can go," whispered a chorus of voices from the walls, the floorboards, the very air. Alex dragged their bags toward the door as the temperature plummeted. Frost crackled across the windows. The whisper followed them onto the porch, curling into their ear like smoke. Asterisk, "But we'll always be here." Asterisk. As Alex's car peeled away, every light in the house flickered on at once. In an upstairs window, 3 silhouettes watched them leave.